I'm Jason Parsons with Vexus Boats. I'm down here in Venice, Louisiana, and I've got Captain Billy Nicholas with us from Venice Fishing Lodge, and we've brought down the ACX2150, and we've been able to run that through some paces the last couple days and able to chase some redfish and some speckled trout, and I'd like to share with you some of the features of this boat. One of the things you've heard about is our V2 technology at Vexus Boats, and let me show you what it's doing for our center console models. We have integrated spray rails in the boat now. This is going to give you a drier, more comfortable ride in rough water. Also, it's going to allow for more bow flare to give you more width, more fishing platform, more area for you to take clients out or to take your buddies out fishing on the water. You're going to have more room inside the boat due to the bow flare in the boat. We have a keel forward design. It's going to give you a better ride in rough water. In the elements that we fish in, especially down here in the Gulf, this water can change at the drop of a hat, and it can get real rough real quick, and having that keel forward is going to give you a safer, drier ride in the water.
The amount of freeboard that this boat has in comparison to other models and stuff, that's what helps that dry ride as well too.
Hey Billy, that's a great comment. Let's show the folks what that means for inside the boat as well. You know, Billy, with this V2 technology, it's increased the width of this boat. You know, this is an aluminum boat that, you know, we're both pretty big guys and we can stand up here and fish, not worry about bumping into each other. We've got room to land fish. We've got room to help each other bring fish in the boat. You know, there's plenty of room. And I know there's times you're bringing, you know, 3, 4 people out in these boats, and you've got to have plenty of room for fishermen and plenty of room for them to land fish and work as a guide within the boat. And this boat allows for that very well.
You know, 2 foot back from the front of the boat, I mean, you're already 3 foot wide at least, you know, maybe wider. And as you graduate back, it gets even more so. So you and I standing on the front deck, and you've still got room back here as well. Whether you're handling a fish or trying to land a fish, it gives you more, you know, maneuverability around the boat, and real quick and easy to get to the back of the boat should that fish make a run.
You know, when you're out here fishing, you're sometimes fishing for redfish, you're fishing for speckled trout, and you've got to take a lot of gear in these boats too. And I think, you know, the way we've designed this boat, it allows for ample storage. There's room for all that gear you've got to take. You know, you've got storage here on the front deck, you've got a storage here in the floor, and then also storage toward the back of the boat. So there's a lot of room for gear in this boat. And then also, one neat thing we've incorporated into this boat that we've used in some of our other designs is we've taken that fuel tank, Billy, and we've put it down in the floor of the boat, and that gets that center of gravity down low to help stabilize this boat. Yeah. It's going to make this boat more stable when you do have, like you said, maybe 3 or 4 guys in the rig, and everybody's fishing off one side. That lower fuel tank is going to help that.
And I noticed that today too, as you know, as you're trying to get up in some of that shallower water that we were in, you know, having the fuel rear of the boat versus in the floor, that whole shot was, I mean, instant.
Yep.
You know?
And it's you know, not only does that, it helps the whole shot, but it also gives you a stable platform. So you sit here and think, you know, you put all that weight in the back of the boat, you've got your engine, your Minn Kota Talons or Raptors back there, and you get that fuel back there, that boat's not going to want to sit level in the water. By moving that fuel forward, it's going to stabilize this boat, create a level platform for your customers to fish off of.
So when I was going through the boxes earlier, I noticed that there was a foot pedal for the trolling motor. Is it an option to have a recessed pedal?
Yeah, actually, Billy, what we've done is we've created a storage box on the front deck, and then what you can get is an optional lid that would swap out for this lid that you can get to where you have a recessed trolling motor pedal availability with this lid on the front storage deck.
I see you've already got the seat base there.
Yeah, and you know, we worked up here on the front deck, we saw how much room we had, but you get down here, there's so many little amenities in this boat. You've got a nice storage box right here, and then you've also got cup holders, tool holders, to where you're never gonna be looking for a pair of pliers or a knife or whatever you may need when you get a fish in the boat. There's tool holders, a wealth of tool holders all over this boat, to where you're always gonna have something accessible to you to take a fish off the hook or whatever you may need there. You know, Billy, on the front of this boat, we have integrated bow lights. You know, you're not having to get your bow light out and put it in and always worried about where I put it, or when it's getting dark out, you're not concerned, oh, I got to find my bow light. Well, they're built into the boat, so you just flip a switch and they're going to come on. You know, these rod boxes are a great feature in our boat. And then also, we incorporated a lip in the rod box to help keep those boxes dry.
That rain and that driving wind that you run through when it's raining.
This is a completely new console for Vexus boats. It has the seat built into the console, so that extra customer that maybe you're bringing with you has a place to sit. We've plumbed this as well, so you have a bait well there. We've incorporated cup holders into this console. It has a nice toe kick all the way around the console.
And that's the one thing I was noticing, you know, earlier, you know, you had a fish on the back, and I was trying to get from the front to the back, and the room that's here like you said, with that toe kick, you're not jamming your toe up against something as you're coming by because you're in a hurry to try to get to a fish. So yeah, this open space makes a huge difference.
Creates a nice travel path to get to the front or the back or wherever you may need to get. You know, we've also incorporated a nice little tray up here that has the EVA foam on it for you to put your keys or your wallet or whatever, going to hide right back in here behind the windshield. You know, Billy, this spacious console has available tilt steering on it. It also has a room for a large locator, and GPS is so important down
and that's
here.
nice too. With this big console, you're not having to mount that. You're wanting a 12-inch graph or something, and with a smaller console, you're having to mount it here, which gets in your way if you're driving in the rain or something like that, trying to see around it. But having it down here is the perfect situation. And the angle of this works out good, so you can see the screen when you're standing up or if you're sitting down. However it is, it's just real accessible.
Yeah, we've incorporated 6 rod holders into the console. We have an optional stereo that's mounted right here in the console with the speakers. It comes standard with a 12-volt plug. It has a USB plug available on it as well. If you look on the other side there, you've actually got your battery charger plug real easy for you. You pull up to the lodge, you're going to reach inside, plug your charger in, and you're done. The next morning your batteries are charged and you're ready to go to the water. What's inside this console is really neat too, Billy. I don't know if you happen to look in here today, but your trolling motor batteries are all in here as well. Your battery charger's in there. So everything is really accessible. You can get to your batteries, you can get to your charger, all your steering helm, everything is right there where if you have to get to something inside the boat, you can get to it very easy right through that hatch door there. Billy, also something that's standard in this boat, and we drive these boats all over this Gulf, and you're standing here in front of the console, is we have an EVA foam mat right here for you to stand on. And that anti-fatigue mat, standing on it all day, makes a huge difference at the end of the day. You're standing on foam versus aluminum all day or a hard surface, and it makes for an easier day on the water. Our jump seats in the boat, they're very comfortable. It gives your clients another place to sit in the boat, and then there's storage under them as well, and it's very, very easy to get to. You lift up the front, you're not having to fold them the opposite way, as you've probably seen in other brands of boats, but you've got a nice storage box here for customers to throw their personal items during the day. This boat has our Vexus live well system in it as well. Right here underneath the leaning post, we have our Vexus live well system. It has a live well pump out in it, so you can pump that water out when you put your fish in there, and whether you're fishing maybe a redfish tournament or any kind of tournament. These boats aren't just limited to saltwater. That's the great thing about them. You can throw your fish in there. It has a live well pump out. You can also, you can ice that down if we're going to take them home and have some redfish fillets tonight.
True. I was noticing the step on the leaning post as well. That's a neat little feature right there. So you're always just trying to sit right here or do something. You can actually get in here and be more comfortable. And then that rough water, if you start hitting something, you're able to push yourself up and take some of that.
Yep, take some of that abuse off of your back. Yeah, and that folds right up nice and locks back into place if you choose not to use it as well.
Moving that fuel forward and into the floor also gave the space for this.
So 2 huge fiberglass storage boxes on the back deck of this boat. All that gear you guys are bringing for whatever type of fish you're going for every time you go out. You may be red fishing in the morning and trout fishing in the afternoon, and you've got to have different gear, different rods, different types of gear.
Rain gear. And not only my rain gear, but my customers' rain gear. So, you don't need it 90% of the time, but you've got to have a place to put it 100% of the time.
You've got a nice aluminum lid. We finished the bottom of these lids. We've painted them to match the boat. We've got compression latches on our boxes as well, which is going to help pull this lid down.
Seal it. I noticed the lip here, like you were talking about in the front boxes, that actually help keep that box dry as well.
Yeah, and that's one reason we can, one thing that is great about the fiberglass storage compartment, we've molded that lip specifically into that box. So it's going to create a lip, add a bubble seal to it, and then you add a compression latch to that, and it's going to pull that lid down against that seal. We feel like we've got the best riggers in the world, and we're always going to want to rig a boat that's easy for a customer to if he has to get in there and move something around or look for something, he's going to find it, and even to help our dealers out down the road too. We have great riggers there, and that you'll see that inside of our back compartment here, our utility compartment. We've got the 2 Minn Kota Raptor pumps sitting in here. They're easy access. You can see our our knee brace system that's in this boat as well. We have 5 knee braces that span across the transom of this boat, which makes it a stronger transom. We're able to add the higher horsepowers. We're able to bolt our Minn Kota Raptors right onto our transom by doing that. But you see the room in here and how clean and neat everything is.
Exactly, and having access to those pumps right there, I mean, you drop your remote in the water, your batteries go dead, something like that, you've got to manually press those, and to be able to just open that box and hit those buttons right there is huge.
You know, we've incorporated a rigging boot here in the boat too, so you don't have that unsightly bunch of wires and hoses and everything. It all goes in here into one rigging boot that runs right back to the engine as well.
So before you jump down and talk about the trailer, as we were starting to get out, I noticed, you know, the fuel fill is here on the side. Versus having fuel, you know, in the rear of the boat, trying to get it down into that tank that was in the back of the boat. You know, it's just hard to get fluid to flow level, to drop into that tank. Well, the fuel tank's in the floor now. You've got a side fill over here. So, I mean,
it's easy to get to. It's on the same side as your driver's side on most vehicles, so it's going to be a lot easier to get that gas in your boat.
Yep, I was noticing this camel pattern when we were out fishing today, and that's pretty unique. So I didn't know if that was something that, you know, was just kind of special to this boat, or if there was other options that you have.
No, it is unique, Billy, and it's something that we actually designed and developed at Vexus. And, you know, I know you've got a lot of guides that work for you there at the lodge. You've got, you know, room for lots of people, and you'll have several boats coming in every day. So each of your guys is going to be a unique guide. He's going to have preferences on trolling motors, electronics, even engines. And the neat thing about Vexus is we can build that boat their way, however they want that boat built, whether it's a certain trolling motor, or a certain piece of electronics, or a certain engine, or certain shallow water anchor. We're going to be able to offer that to that customer and build the boat that they want. You know, Billy, there's only one way to get to the ramp, and that's on our trailers. And we pride ourselves at Vexus that we build our own trailers. We build a trailer that's specific for each of our models of boat. You know, this is a trailer that we're building specifically for this ACX2150. It has 14-inch wheels and tires. It has an aluminum frame. We use a diamond plate fender on the boat as well with carpeted bunks. We put 4 bunks on the trailer. It has a swing tongue and a swing jack standard on the boat as well.
Well, and that's one thing about trailers. It's not one size fits all. You know, there's a lot of trailer manufacturers out there, but when you design a boat and you take just as much pride in designing that trailer so that it matches that boat, so that the boat rides well on the trailer, you're not, you know, tearing the boat up and causing damage to it because the trailer's misfit just a little bit. You don't even notice it, but that boat knows it when it's going down a rough road.
That's right, and when you need help with something, you know, you have one call. It's to Vexus Boats, and someone there is going to answer the phone, and someone there is also going to help you get whatever you may need taken care of. I appreciate you spending time with us today, learning about the ACX2150 from Vexus Boats. If you want any more information about Vexus Boats, visit your local dealer or go to vexusboats.com. I also want to thank Captain Billy Nicholas with Venice Fishing Lodge for spending some time with me today and taking me out on the water and showing me how to catch one of these big redfish.